Welcome back. Still tuned into Trading Hour. RR Kabel reported their Q1 numbers. The company saw its revenue rise 14%, EBITDA surge 50% versus last year. Wires and cable segments saw a growth of 23%. Rajesh Jain, the CFO at the company, is joining in now to take a few questions. Mr. Jain, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Can you talk to us about what the outlook is for FY26 going forward in terms of volume growth? You had guided for 18% growth. Does that stick? And what was the volume growth in Q1 itself? And what is the demand looking like in Q2?
Morning, and it seems FY26 is on track, and we see a very positive development in terms of value and volume growth. Looking to the various factors of infrastructure growth or our capacity expansion, we are confident to get this 18% volume growth for this year, FY26. Though in this quarter, like our volume growth was at 7%, which was like led by wire growth, and in cable, the growth was not as per our expectation because there were some spillover orders which will be executed in this quarter. So it seems we are on track in terms of our projections and execution.
Okay. 7% volume growth in Q1, 18% for the full year. So what about the decline in copper prices? We've seen a sudden drop, more than 20% recently in copper prices. How will that impact you going ahead? And even, on your margins, you've managed to expand your margins by 7.6%. You had last time spoken about 100 bips improvement in margins this year. Is that on track?
Yes, we will get the improvement of 100 bits in this year, though it will be like gradually quarter on quarter, it will keep growing. And see, copper volatility is part of our business, but this 20% was for US for some time only. Otherwise, copper is volatile on both sides. Like we have seen upward trend also during the month of May and half of the June, and now it is on like some softening to some extent. But this is it is part of our business.
Mr. Jain, because of this, do you see any bearings on your margins going forward? Because what is the kind of margin profile you are envisaging for the full year? Because you had mentioned earlier that you wanted to see hold on to that double-digit guidance around about 2 to 3 years down the line. Do you still stick to that?
Yes, we are on track. We are working towards margin improvement on all the fronts. So it is achievable.
Let's talk about the FMEG business. What about reaching that break-even level there? Do you think that will happen in Q2 itself? Because losses have contracted quite a bit in Q1.
Yeah, but Q2 is always a soft quarter if you see industry-wide, because since we are like almost 50% our revenue comes from fan, which is Q3 and Q4 item. So maybe not for Q2, but we are certainly sure for getting back even in this year at EBITDA level.
Okay, so some point in H2, you see FMEG breaking even, not in Q2. Got
Yeah.
that. What about exports? I think 26% of your revenues comes in from exports. Now, with the whole tariff situation, how do you see exports playing out? Because I think you've spoken about how export cable margins are higher than the domestic margins. So if exports get hit, there could be an impact on your overall margins too, and there's guidance of improving.
There is a lot of uncertainty about the US exports, but the good part is since we are the largest exporter and our export is spread over many countries, so US is part of that strategy. We see a very good scope in coming future. So there may be some impact only on US, but overall when we see our cable strategy, our product strategy, export is still a very good sector and we are doing very good. Overall export to US is around 2.5 to 3% of our overall revenue. So, and still see things are not clear. So we are not sure how things will move. So let's wait and see how things will shape up in near future. But it will not have a very big impact on our business.
But did you see any impact of this in the current quarter, Mr. Jain? And if this uncertainty with regards to the US market, do you plan on offsetting that uncertainty by diverting your exports towards other growth markets? And what is the current export to domestic mix, if you could share some light on that?
So see, still export is like contributing, even if I consider only wire and cable, then it is contributing almost 30% in my revenue. And since we are exporting very huge quantity in Europe and Middle East also, so We have a good scope based on our cable capacity expansion and new product, new geography. So we are keeping a close watch on our export side, and we are quite positive that we'll do good.
Okay, all right. So what's happening with US tariffs also is a developing situation, but we'll come to you for more conversations, Mr. Jain. Thank you so much for joining in today with the update on the outlook going forward. With that, we'll slip into a break, but remember to tune into the all-new CNBC TV18 Prime, bringing you insights from policymakers, business leaders and economists shaping both the world and India's future. CNBC TV18 Prime decodes global shifts and their impact on Indian businesses, giving you unparalleled insights. Tune into CNBC TV18 Prime at 12 noon for the Global Reset, at 1 p.m. the Big C and the Global Lens at 8:30 p.m.